What's going on, guys? Josh here from Momentum Productions, and today I'm comparing my Zeiss 24-70 f4 lens to the 24-70 G Master. Now, since I'm a video shooter, I'm going to mainly talk about the video capabilities of both of these lenses. And before we get started, I want to have a huge shout out and big thank you to Magnanimous Rentals for renting me this lens. And if you haven't heard of them, check out magrents.com to view all the gear that they currently have. They have a ton of stuff ranging from lights, lenses, and accessories. Now, the biggest question I've actually been getting is which lens is better for video. Now, look at the size difference between both of these lenses and look at the price difference. This one you can get for around $2,200 and this one is actually just $800. One is just under 2 pounds and one is just under 1 pound, so literally double in size. Also, one has a 2.8 aperture while the other one has a 4 aperture. So this is a constant f4, constant f2.8. What is the difference? Why should you go for the 2.8 or why should you go for the f4? Well, it comes down to the budget, and it comes down to low light, and it comes down to the shallow depth of field. What is the most important to you as a filmmaker or photographer? Do you want that low light performance? Do you have more money to spend? And do you want that shallow depth of field? Testing out both of these lenses, there is a significant difference in low light performance. Shooting at ISO 320 with my Sony a9, same exact settings on both lens setups, you can see where the 2.8 shines. The G Master has a much brighter picture at ISO 320. So if you want more of that low light performance, again, the G Master is going to win over the Zeiss. You'll also notice a difference when it comes down to shallow depth of field. Even though my subject Rob was about, I would say, 2 or 3 feet away from the brick wall, we get a blurry background. Actually, both lenses produce a blurry background, but the 2.8 has a slider edge. Usually when the subject is farther away from the background, we can get a shallower depth of field, but because Rob was so close to the background and we had an f2.8 on him, we still got a blurry background. The f4 just didn't do as well of a job as the f2.8. Here I mounted both of my lenses on my Sony a9 on a motorized slider, and you can clearly see that there is a huge difference between the 2.8 and f4. I was standing about 1.5 feet away from my lens, and you can notice a pretty big difference in the shallow depth of field. Now, a huge question I've been getting is which lens is better for gimbal work. So if you have a gimbal and you want to shoot some video, which lens will perform better? Of course, the G Master is going to give you that better low light performance and that shallower depth of field, but if you shoot wide, then the f4 can definitely do the job for you. When it comes down to stability, both lenses have great optical image stabilization, no complaints there. Now, where the G Master shines is when it comes down to overall clarity and sharpness. The G Master is sharp, it's tack sharp. The glass elements on this thing are very accurate and they produce beautiful images. Now, my f4, also a beautiful lens, but sometimes my edges can be distorted, which is where the G Master shines again. Now, where the f4 shines is when it comes down to size to performance ratio. This thing will smoke the G Master. Look at this thing, it's absolutely tiny. I mean, for $800, I really do think you're getting a steal with the Zeiss f4. I actually got this lens very close to when it was released, and it was over $1,000 and it dropped in price. So this is a great option for those of you who don't have too much money to spend and you want performance out of your glass. The G Master will get you that sharpness, that overall performance and low light capability along with a shallower depth of field, but it is a monster of a lens that comes with a hefty price tag, which is actually another great reason for why you should rent some of your glass. And MagRents, again, has that option for you. When it comes down to build quality, both lenses are built exceptionally well. They both have metal bodies, And actually, I prefer the zoom performance or the zoom smoothness on the f4 compared to the 2.8. The G Master has a much stiffer zoom ring, and it just feels like it can get you choppier zoom ins and zoom outs if you're doing that during video. The G Master has a few unique features that the f4 doesn't, such as the autofocus to manual focus toggle switch. It has a zoom ring lock function, and you have a programmable focus button. Overall, these lenses are built like tanks, and they're gonna last you a long time. So that's my short comparison on the 24-70 G Master and the f4. Obviously, I want to have more time with the G Master. There's just so much more I want to see this lens do. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel with notifications turned on, and also check out magrents.com for your rental needs. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.